Hi, you have reached the National Human Trafficking Hotline.
Tonight, Q gives us the number to the National Human Trafficking Hotline, and you'll never guess why. Plus, Devin Nunes says we must win majority in midterm, and fake news accuses him of thought crimes. And Q finally names names. Hi, I'm Craig, and welcome to Just Informed Talk. For those of you who don't know, every episode starts the exact same way. I say thank you to all my subscribers because without you guys, it's not possible. And there's always new subscribers. Now, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please come here to the landing page. Click the big red subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you'll be notified when these videos get posted because I make them available as soon as they're made available to me. So this is the first post. And if you guys want to get caught up to where we're at, this is the last post. And if you guys want to go back, I encourage you, come back here, watch this video, and also share this video right here. The top 10 proofs of QAnon. And this video is obviously, in my opinion, not getting the traction it should be because these are top 10 proofs that QAnon is real. So if you guys want to share this information, please come here to this landing page and find this information. You can share it. And if you want to catch up to where we're at, go back and watch the last few episodes and they'll help you catch up to where we're at. And if you're scratching your head going, what's QAnon? Watch this video because it's going to inform you on exactly how to, research Q, how to follow the posts, how to find where you can contribute. All of that kind of information is in there. So I encourage you all to go find that if you are so interested. Now, today's post, we're going to deal with a lot of different things. And the first thing that Q points to is this right here. And we're going to talk about it straight away. It's looking at this attack on Devin Nunes, and it's really incredible. So starting here, interestingly enough, you have Devin Nunes getting recognized here by the mainstream media for something that I think is almost laughable. Apparently, he was recorded at a fundraiser saying that he needs to protect Trump, and it basically goes into all these different areas where it's like Rachel Maddow on her show. She goes into this. And you know how Rachel Mad Idiot Cow, whatever you want to call her. I'm not in the game of name calling, but I can't stand listening to this woman pontificate on things because all she wants to do is draw these crazy conclusions based off of nothing. And you listen to this, and it's basically, I've heard the clips in sequential order, and there's nothing in those that lead me to think any differently. Actually, they reaffirm the things I've been thinking for a while. For instance, you have Representative Nunes saying things like, well, we need to protect Trump. And, we need to think about the fact that, would it be wise for us to go and impeach Rosenstein when we're trying to get a Supreme Court justice, nominated and confirmed, I should say. And he basically says, look, why would we waste the Senate's time on impeaching Rod Rosenstein when we have much more important things to handle, like the confirmation of Judge Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court and other issues that are really more pressing, like pushing this investigation into Hillary Clinton and other things. So to me, there was nothing wrong with that comment. But what people don't really understand is that there's a very, very subtle nuance to this issue. Now, imagine that there is something we've been talking about with Q for quite some time. There has been this mention of who will replace Rod Rosenstein. And Rachel Brand was obviously the next in line to replace Rod Rosenstein. So if they impeach Rod Rosenstein, then Rachel Brand would have become the actual next in charge. She would have become the de facto attorney general in that investigation with Robert Mueller, right? So, okay, take that. Now let's think about that. What does Q think is going to happen? Suppose that there's been this 210-day period after Rachel Brand was fired to where President Trump can appoint an actual new deputy attorney general or associate attorney general, whatever it is, that would be the third in command of the attorney generals in succession. So if Rod Rosenstein were impeached, then that would come to the next person or fired, hypothetically. Okay, so hypothetically, let's look at this. That 210-day clock started when Rachel Brand was fired or when she resigned, when she left that position, right? And that was so Rachel Brand resigned on February 9th of 2018, this year. So that means 210 days from then will be September 19th or 18th of 2018, right? Interesting. Well, that means that from then until then, you have President Trump actually has the opportunity to appoint somebody into that position. Now, who is he going to appoint? Well, the speculation is basically it's his own Solicitor General, Noel Francisco, who he's going to appoint to that position of whatever it is. I guess it would be Associate Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General, when Rod Rosenstein gets vacated from the position. So, or before Rod Rosenstein gets impeached or fired, because then he'll step into that position without a problem. Now, the reason that the person who was beneath Rachel Brand, her Associate Attorney General, will not be able to get that position really is because that position has to go to Senate confirmation. It can only go to somebody who's already been confirmed by the Senate. Now, the Solicitor General, Noel Francisco, I believe has been confirmed narrowly by the Senate. Therefore, he is the perfect person to plug into that position, and that's what we have to look forward to. So there's a little nugget of goodness, if you guys want to take that for what it is, to understand how the plan's going to evolve and what are some steps ahead that we may want to look at. But now, let's look at this. They've gone, the mainstream media, the fake news media, this propaganda press, this is what they do. They get together. They're directed by obviously the 4 a.m. talking points or something, some factors playing a role here where it's getting 30, and maybe there's a message in the fact that Q gives us 33 links here, 34 if you count this one, or actually with that one, 33 links to different news organizations and people on Twitter, senators and representatives who are just going after Devin Nunes full blast. Now, based off of what? I watched the Rachel Maddow clips. I saw their selected, pieces out of the edited speech where he was in a fundraiser where you can tell people are eating. It's probably a paid plate dinner, $500 a plate, and they all go there and sit and have a good time and talk to the senator in the Senate or the representative. And to me, I'm looking at this going, nothing in this is something I would be against. What he says, we need to protect Trump. Okay, President Trump. Okay, so we need to win the midterms. Yeah, okay, to protect Trump from Mueller. Mueller is running an investigation based off a hoax, based off of false evidence. If we allow the left to win this midterm election, it will mean a very great impediment to the president in the last 2 years of his term. And if people don't recognize that, I don't know what to tell you. And if the mainstream media wants to try to say it's evil to say those words, they're the truth. And I guess that's why the mainstream media has such an aversion to it. But we go through all this. Look, you have everything. CNN Politics and leaked recording. House Republicans suggest GOP must keep House to protect Trump from Mueller. In one sentence, Devin Nunes proved his critics right. Banquet room warning of danger by Devin Nunes. If GOP loses Congress. Ex-CIA analyst Phil Mudd explodes. Now, Phil Mudd's the same guy who made threats openly against the President of the United States, and he's still on air, which is sick and wrong, but he is the guy who's exploding on Devin Nunes because he'll protect Trump regardless of collusion facts? What do you mean? There are, if there was legitimate facts, even Rachel Maddow says, oh, well, Devin Nunes says if the emails show that there was some collusion, then we'll look at it. And that's what she was going on. She was saying, now Phil Mudd's like completely countering that, saying, he said he'll protect him regardless of it. No, he was saying basically, if there was proof that Kathy, the woman who he was in the fundraiser with, was actually doing something illicit with the Portuguese, he was using that as like a example, that then there would be an issue. But it's the same principle with Trump. There's nothing going on there. Okay. Phil Mudd, thanks. Finally, Devin Nunes admits what his crusade is all, or his charade is all about. Yeah, just another hit piece. Secret recording shows Nunes says Rosenstein impeachment would delay Supreme Court pick. Well, yeah, obviously. Jeez. Devin Nunes and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad summer. So they just had to fit as many negative adjectives as they could into this headline. That's literally James Ward. Good job. You are the epitome of hack journalism. You literal hack. Terrible, horrible, no good, very bad summer. I know it's a play on a literature title, but it's stupid and it is meaningless. Stupid people. Okay. Here's Slatest, the Slate or Slate.com. It's saying, is Republican leadership secretly backing Devin Nunes' plan to impeach Rod Rosenstein? What? See, is it a secret? Did Slate not get the memo? I think we put a few of those out. Okay, Ted Lieu here, talking about how Devin Nunes should resign for perverting the oath he took. Well, I think it's quite the opposite, Ted. Let me ask you about that $16 billion Korean aerospace contract that you and Michael Cohen and Michael Avenatti constructed together. Do you want to have a comment on that? Do you think that might have forced you to have a reason to resign for perverting the oath you took? I don't think you want to answer those questions, do you, Teddy boy? All right, so now you have Scott Dworkin. Name says it all. Not going to read it. Andrew Jans. I don't know who all these people are. These are the blue check brigade on Twitter, all coming out. The blue check brigade has made their final issuance. And Elizabeth Warren, of course, saying the House Intel chairman and Trump coddler in chief, great one, is one of Washington's most ethically challenged Republicans. Chip in here to help. Yeah, okay, so they want you to go ahead and give them money because they just make this vague, ambiguous statement. Yeah, good. I hope you waste your money. I hope you don't, actually. That's ridiculous. The Democratic coalition saying, it's time for Speaker Ryan to remove Devin Nunes from the Intel Committee and then force him to resign for being one of the biggest traitors that's ever been in Congress. Retweet if you know, it's Benedict Arnold, never. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, that's what they want us to think, and it's just kind of funny to me, and I get kind of carried away, but it's true that these people have lost their minds. It says, captured on a secret recording, Devin Nunes says the quiet part out loud. You mean the truth? Yeah, probably, because you guys don't want to report that. Secret recording shows GOP's Nunes saying Rosenstein impeachment would delay Supreme Court pick. All right, great. Devin Nunes tape tells us what we think we all know or knew. His investigation is about protecting Trump. Yeah, from the false Russian hoax investigation that's been put together by the DNC as a political attack. Yeah, I guess he is saying that. Nunes on leaked audio. Rosenstein has been impeached because of timing. Or hasn't been impeached because of timing. Yeah, I guess that's kind of true. Nunes mocks Fuhrer over secret tape comments as left-wing media spin. Yeah, I know. That's been going on for the whole time here. Nunes on Russia investigation. We have to keep the majority. Yeah. What's wrong with that? Thought crime, I guess, we're committing against the mainstream media and their propaganda. Nunes on leaked audio. Rosenstein hasn't been impeached because of timing. Again, they're like literally repeating each other's headlines. Devin Nunes, GOP can't impeach Rosenstein without risking Kavanaugh nomination. All right, I'm glad we're in the repetitive mode here. Here's MSNBC. Exclusive from Rachel Maddow. Devin Nunes speaks candidly at fundraiser. He speaks the truth. Let's attack him. Devin Nunes. GOP must keep the House to protect Trump from Mueller. Of course. It's big conspiracy we're involved in here. Nunes suggested at private fundraiser that GOP majority is needed to protect Trump. Got it. Gonna put that down. All right. Business Insider. If we do not keep the majority, all of this goes away. Leaked audio. Are you guys seeing a theme here? I don't know. There's 33 different links, but there's probably there's over 20 different news organizations that are giving these article heads. You think they all think alike? Think Progress, the Media Matters Soros operation. In leaked audio, Devin Nunes gives up the game on collusion. Got it. Thank you. Cutting edge journalism there. Copy and paste journalism. I love it. All right. Devin Nunes blames Rosenstein impeachment delay on Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court nomination. Copy and paste journalism at its finest. And again, we have another one. Maddow reveals tapes of Nunes sharing his thoughts on Mueller and the president's Twitter habits. Guys, we have completely broken this story here. I mean, literally, I think we've broken the story. There's not much more to report. I feel like a broken record at this point. Yeah, and you can see I'm showing you all the articles. But yeah, okay. There you go. That was all 33 articles, except for the Merriam-Webster one. It says, coordinated effort to silence, remove, notice a pattern, echo chamber conspiracy. These people are sick. And then it gives this Merriam-Webster post, which I think is great. It's the definition of eradicate. It means to do away with as completely as if by pulling up the roots. Programs to eradicate illiteracy is an example of how to use it. And we're going to eradicate this right now when Q says U.S. Air Force B-52 kill box, metaphorical brackets, precision bombs. Q. Look. These people, this is coordinated. This is an echo chamber. This is what, or 1984, George Orwell, this is what they wrote about with almost incredible accuracy to it was almost like a blueprint that they're trying to follow today on the left. And we're sitting here going, we're moderate, regular, normal people who love God and we love our country and we love our military and we love our national pride and we love the great things about this country, our Bill of Rights, our Constitution. And you know what they're doing? They're telling us that they're going to change all of that because they're the new elite political authoritarian class who are going to come over and tell us what to think and going to deny us of our freedom of thought vis-a-vis these crazy political syndicates and monopolies that they've created that control the media. The fourth estate, the literal press is the enemy of the people when it comes to the fake news. Nobody thinks the press is the enemy of the people because people are independent press proprietors and they make a good living doing it and they actually do a good service because they're objective and they report well. And there's dozens and hundreds probably of, if not thousands of examples of people who do that every day. But then you have these monolith corporations who own these huge swaths of the American public's attention, and they can just put their propaganda and filth and lies on air and then expect us to swallow it hook, line, and sinker because we're the sheep that they anticipate, but we're not. So in the next post here, it's actually Q responding to an anon who posted this post here saying, enjoying every second of it, and we'll watch this clip. It's just basically that Spider-Man looking guy, Deadpool, who I don't watch any of those movies because I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff, to be quite honest. I think it's all cultural indoctrination. And I think my personal opinion on Hollywood is that it is all about evil. It's all about sex. It's all about violence. It's all about things that I do not endorse nor do I want to participate in. So I watch primarily informational based programming and Christian radio, rock, Christian music. Because, listen, guys, there is not just a war on for our minds as far as the media goes. Hollywood is doing the same thing, and this kind of evil that they promote on a regular basis, you should not allow your kids, in my opinion, to participate in it. I think it can create irreparable damage, and I think that our kids and our kids' kids and our future generations will be much better off if parents take an actual stand against the indoctrination, the brainwashing, the cult behavior that's basically ingrained into children through Hollywood and their sick people that run things. Like, I know people take their kids to go see Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's like, that James Gunn tweets about being a pedophile, about how much he likes being a pedophile, and that's the person you're letting indoctrinate your children when they go see that film. But I mean, that's just my personal opinion. That being said, let's watch the clip. So, of course, the clip is about getting the actual popcorn out and getting ready to enjoy watching what is about to unfold. And it says, comfy, previews are over, showtime, cue. So now in showtime, we have this incredible post here, which lays everything out and gives us all the names in their sequential order of how they were used and who used them. And I'm going to go through each one of these, and I think you guys are going to be very, very surprised to hear. Well, not surprised about some things, but basically surprised to see how well put together this is by Q. And we're going to talk about this right now. So I want you guys, I'm not going to read this first because I'm just going to start by breaking it down because it's much easier to break it down as we go than to read it and then break it back down. So first, it's the spy operation. This is how the spy operation was constructed, starting with the White House through the CIA, the Department of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, all the way down to politicians and corporate and companies that helped manufacture the false evidence. So first, you have the White House involvement. So who were involved at the White House? Well, Barack Hussein Obama, Valerie Jarrett. Then you had the chief of staff at the time, Dennis McDonough, right here. Then you had Joe Biden. And then you had Rahm Emanuel, then John Kerry, then you had Samantha Powers, and finally you had Karen Mills. That was the crew at the White House who handled this on behalf of Hillary Clinton and the DNC. They were the ones who were working with Barack Obama directly to set up this spy job on President Trump. Then you have the CIA and their involvement. First, you have John Brennan and his access to the classified information at the NSA. Now, I couldn't tell exactly what this meant here yet because I haven't figured out what TT is. I'm sure it's something very simple that I'm just overlooking right now. But I think what it's saying here with the NSA play reveal is that the NSA maybe played along with John Brennan and revealed certain things to him based on the fact that they maybe were having an inside investigation against him. That's the best way I can read that. But if you guys have a better interpretation, let me know. Now, it explains how these things, you see these little marks over here, kind of working up. I think that's kind of the levels from which it was played. I think John Brennan was at the top, having the highest classified clearance and to get in the information. And then you had James Clapper at the Department of National Intelligence working with him. They're the two working under Hillary Clinton, the DNC, and the White House in the intelligence agencies to kind of coordinate everything. Then you had all of their players over at the DOJ. Now, who are all these people? Well, let's go through them. First, you have Loretta Lynch. She's obviously a big player. She was the Attorney General at the time. You have Sally Yates. Then you have here Bruce Orr and his connection with Christopher Steele in the UK, because we talk about later that the MI6 and UK Secret Intelligence Service, all of them involved in that. Now, then it goes to David Laufman, I believe, and David Laufman was a go-between for Peter Strzok, and David Laufman then put it back all the way down to John P. Carlin at the DOJ. You guys got to go look up all these names, who then went down to Mary McCord, that would be the MM, and then finally RB would be Rachel Brand, the third in charge. And it's I think what it's saying here is that they were all basically reporting to or working on behalf of Bill Clinton. And it gives a little asterisk here that marks that those are the people who organized the tarmac meeting with Loretta Lynch, and they were the go-betweens. Yeah, there you go. All right, so then it says FBI. All right, this one's even more interesting. You have James Comey, Andrew McCabe. Then you have Jim Rubicki. Then you have Michael Steinbach. Then you have Bill Priest. Then you have Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, and of course you have down here somebody who I cannot for the life of me put the name into. It's probably somebody very obvious, JB, not sure. All right, but we're going to just keep going. Michael Cortan here, and then you have, this would be, again, I think John Carlin or James Comey or someone else, but I think it's John P. Carlin. And then you have Sally Moyer here, And of course, at the end here, you have Tashina Gower. Now, these are all names that were given to us before. And of course, back here at the end, you have Kevin Kleinsmith. So all of these people were working at the FBI to work with Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Huma Abedin, and I'm not sure, again, I don't know who CM is. I think it's the Clinton machine, but it's probably another name that's really close to the top that I'm forgetting. I know it's not Code Monkey, obviously, but Clinton machine is the best I can come up with, unless it's somebody else in that top sphere. But it's saying that basically these are the people who are in charge of producing the fake news, maybe being the points of contact for those news reporters who think they're getting scoops and are really just reporting propaganda. And then it says No Name. We all know No Name McCain. His media drive was with John Brennan and James Clapper, and they were the leakers because they had access to President of the United States Daily Brief and the FBI. So that's where they were getting their leaks from. And then you have Fusion GPS, which was the shell first, and CS here could mean a lot of different things, but I think it probably means Chuck Schumer and No Name and them working together. So Chuck Schumer and No Name working together to get Fusion GPS and get the fake FISA dossier made, Steele dossier made. And then you have Perkins Coie is the shell too, same connection to No Name McCain. And then the Washington Free Beacon, of course, which is surprising kind of, but I guess very valid here, that they're connected back to McCain as well. And then you have HRC, which is, Hillary Clinton, John Podesta, and and I'm not sure who RM is, but you guys will let me know down in the comments. I'm sorry, this is kind of on the fly, so I'm just trying to give you guys the information right now, break it down as best I can, but I haven't found that person yet. But then it says HRC and John Podesta and RM working together with the DNC and Debbie Wasserman Schultz and James Comey to work with the United Kingdom and the Prime Minister with MI6 and the Secret Intelligence Service to spy actively on the president. And then I think that all comes back to Chuck Schumer. All right, that's a lot to figure out. And then we already looked at these. These go to the Bill Clinton's go-betweens and his tarmac assistants there. And it says Hussein III, National Secretary or National Security Orders official, POTUS can declassify bottom to top, see now, FBI, DOJ to expand fast, FISA apps, false, activate domestic spy campaign, UK assist, feed to CIA, cannot operate domestically, John Brennan, they never thought she would lose, Q. And that kind of sums it all up. That's what they were doing. It was all from Hussein. National security orders that he put together were basically so that they can spy illegally on President Trump through these false FISA applications. And that this is something that President Trump can declassify and show you right now. So look, we this is the structure to it. I don't even know. Does the mainstream media even realize that we've just been given the full structure to it? And I'm sorry for the blanks. I think there were 2 or 3 blanks there for names. But I'm pretty sure I got most of them correct. So let's go ahead and see if this actually turns out to be true according to Q. We'll have to wait and see. Now, going into the next one here, it talks about Q responding here to his own post, the one we just went over in detail. And it says, what assets, people were placed spy in POTUS's campaign? Why did the news cycle drop this investigation? Think several. What if those placed are being investigated by Bob Mueller? I think that's Bob Mueller, BM. Plants need water. What if others placed connect to future? What if Nellie Orr previously worked on the farm? The start. Public justification to proceed clean. Q. And what that's talking about is something that I thought was very interesting. When I went and did a little bit of research, I found this article right here. An article from the Boston Herald that Q already gave us, talking about how the FISA documents reveal FBI collusion. Now, an interesting paragraph here actually outlines Bruce Orr's wife's involvement. It says, but there's more. In another incredible coincidence, Fusion GPS had hired scholar and professor Nellie Orr as a paid Russian expert. Nellie Orr happens to be married to Bruce Orr, Deputy Attorney General in the Justice Department. Bruce Orr is alleged to have passed his wife's anti-Trump research to the FBI. He was demoted for failing to disclose not only his wife's employment with Fusion GPS, but also his own meetings with Fusion GPS founder Glenn Simpson. Huh. Do you see how it's all really starting to come together now? How all these little things seem to connect to one another? And how Q's been basically drip feeding us this whole thing for a very long time, while behind the scenes, the Department of Justice and other agencies are putting together ironclad cases to take these people down. That's what the wait's for. That's why we have to be patient. That's why we have to trust the plan. Well, I guess the question is, did she work for the farm? And what is the farm a reference to? Well, here you go. The farm is the heavily forested 10,000 acre site, which is secretive but hardly remote, known as Camp Perry to outsiders and the farm to CIA insiders. Oh, well, it's their training facilities, of course, the CIA's training facilities, that is. So the suggestion is, was Nellie Orr working for the CIA? Was she actually a candidate from the farm? Well, I guess we'll have to have more public investigations. And I really hope that the news picks this up and actually goes with it, instead of just lying like they always do and pretending that none of this information is being released to us. But this is the start, and Q tells us to look for the public justification to proceed. So they're going to try to whitewash it all, I think. I think that's what Q's telling us. They're going to try to justify, oh, well, Nellie Orr, yeah, yes, of course she was with the intelligence agency. Of course. I mean, come on, guys. What would you think otherwise? Why would you ever doubt the sincerity of your own intelligence agency that's been proven to really fight against you guys and serve the disinterest of the American people at seemingly over the last 8 years under Obama quite frequently? Now, that's where I'll leave that. But before we go, here is the final one. The Clinton Foundation. It gives this number. Now, as you guys heard at the beginning of this episode, I actually called this number, and that was the message I got. So Q was sending us to the actual National Human Trafficking Hotline and telling us it's the Clinton Foundation. So we have to do what we can to stop it. It's sick. It's wrong. And, let's just keep this fight. We have to keep this pressure on. We have to keep pushing the media and everyone out there to cover the story, because if we let them, they'll just sweep it all under the rug and just pretend like everything's normal until they screw us again with more fake news, and just the continuing cycle will just escalate from there. So we have to stop it now. We have to stop the fake news. We have to tell them they are fake news and they are reporting lies and propaganda, and that we demand the truth as the American people. So that's going to basically wrap it up for this episode. I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, if you guys haven't come here to the landing page, please, if you're looking for a way to support the channel, come here to the landing page, click the big red subscribe button if you haven't already, to help promote and support the channel. And make sure you hit the bell for notifications. That way, as soon as these videos get posted, you'll be notified. Now, the second best way to help out and contribute to the channel after you hit the subscribe button, which is a huge deal, and I'm really thankful for everyone who's hit it, is to come down at the end of this episode and leave your thoughts, theories, and insights in the comment board, because you will be able to have a great conversation with many different people where we don't just talk about the Q post. We'll talk about everything the mainstream media covers and what they won't cover and what they cover incorrectly, and culture, politics, religion, everything in between. A great conversation. Even if you can't comment, scroll down and read through the comments, because I guarantee you're going to learn something. Now, another way you can help out is to come find me on Twitter. And here's my Twitter page. It is at Justin_Foreman. If you guys want to come show me some love here, please come give me a follow. It makes a huge difference, and I really appreciate that. So thank you to everybody who comes over here on Twitter and gives me a follow and helps out. That makes a huge difference, and I'm thankful. Now, another way you can help out, if you're looking to help out financially, the best way to do it is to come over here to Patreon. That's patreon.com. You come here, you search Justin Foreman Talk. When you come to this page, click this button to become a patron. Check out my rewards and goals. You can get here for the different levels. You get different rewards, and it's really a cool thing to get involved with. And I really appreciate everybody who's been here and contributing regularly. Now, another way you can get involved, if you want to make a contribution, this is a monthly thing here on Patreon. So if you could just make a one-time donation, it really helped me out a lot. You guys don't even know what I go through on behind the scenes and everything that I really struggle with, but Thank you for your support. If you guys want to make that one-time donation, come over here and find me at gofundme.com/just-informed, because your support is what makes this channel work. So I'm so thankful to everybody who can support and does. So thank you. And if you want to make that donation, come over here again to gofundme.com/just-informed. All right, so before we go, we're going to talk about the most important thing. We're going to talk about God. And it's not any different than any other episode to me, because they're all the same. The message I want to share is this greatness of God, but what's an important message I want to share is about going out and doing something about it. For me, I do my channel, I try to contribute in my community, I try to help out my family, and I try to do as much as I can to honor God every day as is humanly possible. And I always know that I can get better and that I am imperfect and that I need to seek God's help and guidance and wisdom to get there, right? But it's about doing action, getting out into the world and affecting change. And I think a lot of us struggle with the impetus to go out and make a change in the world, especially when we get discouraged because of the media, because we turn on the TV and all we're bombarded with is these negative messages, or we go online and we're just bombarded with this negativity, or we talk to people, that we know, friends, family, whatever, and we're bombarded with this negativity. We have to take that negativity and realize that it's up to us individually to turn that into positivity. There are too many people in our culture and our society who want to play the victim, who want to blame others for their own unhappiness and their own lack of success, because they've been taught by the system to say it's your fault. It's cultural, institutionalized, whatever, oppression. That's the reason why I can't move ahead. But if you have God in your heart, if you have God in your soul, if you have God in your gullet, in your belly, that fire, that love, that passion, that driving force that is this amazing thing, and it comes in the form of grace, and it comes from God directly, you can do great things. But you have to believe that first, and then realize that it's up to you to affect the change that you want to see. If you want to make yourself into something more than you are, realize that God's going to play a big role in that, the biggest role. And I want to go ahead and give you a verse, and this is out of James, the book of James, chapter 2, verses 20, and we're going to read all the way up to verse 24. And it says, "Foolish man, are you willing to learn that faith without works is useless? Wasn't Abraham our father justified by works when he offered Isaac his son on the altar? You see that faith was active together with his works, and by works faith was perfected. So the scripture was fulfilled and says, Abraham believed God, and it was credited to him for righteousness. And he was called God's friend. You see that a man is justified by works, and not by faith alone." That's interesting. We're justified by our works and not just by faith alone. So it's not just about professing how much we care about God and doing that. It's about working in the real world. And I think that I'm not perfect. I can probably do more, and I need to do more because God's going to call me to do that. I'm very thankful. But we all have to take that initiative. And if it starts right here for you, then I am so blessed to have had a small part in that. And I want you to understand that it's by faith. It's not just through faith alone. It's by acts that we show ourselves to truly be worthy of God's grace. Because this world is what matters to us now. Our eternal salvation is obviously more important, but when we're here in this world, it's our duty as Christians to spread the word of God. It's our duty to show people that their salvation is there waiting for them. And we need to bring them closer to Christ. And that is what should be our driving force every day. So I want you guys to remember those words, and remember, God absolutely loves you, and God does believe in each and every one of you, and all you have to do is show it through your faith and through your acts and through your soul and your being. That's what's the most important. Repent, come to God, join a church, participate in your community, give back, help the homeless, go to a soup kitchen, build houses, Habitat for Humanity, get involved however you can. Okay? Whatever your little contribution is, as little as it seems to you, it could have a multitude of an amplifying effect that you could never realize. So please believe me that God calls you to do these great things, and God will protect you and bless you when you start doing them. So I'm thankful to each and every one of you who've come here tonight. Thank you again for watching. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, now is a great time to do it. Come here to the landing page, click the big red subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell for notifications. But that's going to do it for me. My name is Craig. This is Just Informed Talk. Godspeed and God bless each and every one of you, Patriots.